Victor, just start us off assessing your round today.
Yeah, obviously didn't get off to the best start on number 11 there. I'm sure we'll get into that. But, yeah, making a double bogey there was very sloppy, but managed to bounce back well after that and just kind of stick to my game plan. And yeah, did a good job for the rest of the day.
Yeah, could you just kind of rehash that? I read that a PGA Tour Live maybe helped you out with it, and a volunteer had the wrong. Can you just explain what
Yeah,
happened?
I don't know 100% what happened, but I was in the left side of the fairway and hit a poor second shot that I saw landed in the grass and kicked right and went in the water. And I honestly didn't think too much about it because in my head I'm like, okay, that landed. Because me and Shay were thinking, okay, that looks like it's going to go in the bunker. Barely misses the bunker, kicks to right, and goes in the water. So, like in my head, I'm not thinking, oh, did that cross or not? And when we get up, obviously it's a small area, and I just wanted to make sure that that drop was fine with the guys, and none of them really saw it. So we decided to bring in a rules official, and I don't know what kind of video footage they were looking at, but maybe the camera tower behind the green, and he was saying from his angle it looked like it hit the kind of the wood, which was, in the hazard, so meaning it didn't cross. But I was 100% confident it did not hit the wood, and but as it turns out in that situation, I mean, you have to be 100% certain. And when he said that video footage was not 100% decisive, then I didn't really have much more of a say. But then luckily someone, with a PGA Tour Live, or I don't know who it was, said they had evidence that it hit on the grass and then bounced in and crossed the hazard. So yeah.
So you were on your way back, Victor, to take a drop on the other side. Is that right?
I was, yeah, because the rules official that was there, he had heard on the radio that that it looked like it hit the wood and it didn't cross. So therefore, even though I was pretty confident with what I saw, it's still, that kind of makes it kind of muddies the situation a little bit. So it's not a clean cut and dry. So in that case, I'd have to assume that it didn't cross. But luckily, we then saw the later footage.
Did that affect you at all for your fourth shot? Like just the
Well,
whole situation?
It didn't really help me out because I ended up hitting it over the green.
Yeah.
Terrible. But right there and then, you're probably saves me half a shot in the long run. So it was a pretty big deal, going from hitting a full wedge or full iron shot into that back pin, and if I was able to drop there, which I was, I could just kind of roll something up there. So it was a much easier shot. Yeah.
Should the player's word not maybe supersede some inconclusive video in a situation like that?
That's dicey for me to say, but I can only speak for myself. I was pretty confident that it crossed the line, especially from that angle that I was in on the left side of the fairway, and I saw it bounce pretty straight to the right. But it's such a hard issue because I mean, most of the time you can't get 100% dead on with the camera angle, and it's just really hard to know. You just gotta have to take it on each basis.
Are there any other English questions? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Scott.
That's it. Getting it back to where you did after that start. I mean, it has to be pretty satisfying where you are right now.
Yeah, that was good. I've have been hitting it pretty solid the last few months, and just one shot that I've kind of been struggling with, that longer club off the going into par fives. It's just like that thin little heel shot, and of course it happened there at the wrong time, and it's very easy to kind of lose your confidence off of that. But I managed to just kind of tell myself that I have been playing very good and just see the shots that I wanted to see and manage to reset pretty quickly.
Weekend at Bay Hill, how quickly do you shake that off, or what did you take from that experience?
Yeah, it's like you gotta have to kind of take yourself a little bit away from the score, because it was very, very difficult the last couple of days. Third round it was manageable. Friday or Sunday was very difficult, and especially at that place when there's so much water and the fairways are so narrow. You can't take on the water, so you end up hitting good shots in the rough or bunkers. Just trying to, okay, how can I make a par on this hole? So, I just kind of looked at the certain shots that I hit, and they weren't as bad as they would have been if I was just hitting it on the range. So it's just you can't beat yourself up too poorly.
All right, Victor, we got a couple questions.
Yep.
In Norwegian, please.
Okay.
Take me through, obviously, a difficult start to the round with that double bogey, but then catching fire with 3 birdies on the rest of that backside, and how clutch that was to fire back.
Ja, det var deilig det. For det jo ikke et veldig vanskelig hull. Og du tenker å gjøre birdie der, men når det blir en dobbelt, så starter du litt bak. Så det var deilig å få til en birdie med en gang, og så i tillegg en ganske standard birdie på hull 16, men også en bonus en på hull 18, og da var vi litt i gang. Så det var deilig å holde gående.
Hanging on tough the start of your back 9, which was the front 9, knowing the high scores were out there, how clutch was it to stay that steady?
Ja, banen spilles ikke så lett. Det muligheter å score, men det mye vind, eller det litt vind, og griner harde og raske, så det veldig lett å miste fairway og miste griner, og da kan det bli boogie og dobbelt, så man må bare være veldig presis, og da det godt at når man litt ute av posisjon, at man klarer å redde seg.
And then to finish with the birdie there to get yourself closer to that lead, again, knowing the high scores are out there, put in perspective of the difference of being 2 under versus 1 under and how big that final birdie was.
Ja, det gir deg bare en litt bedre sjanse gående inn til de neste par dagene. Men det masse golf som skal spilles, så jeg må bare fortsette å spille solid, og så håper vi på å senke litt putter og slå noen fyrslag her og der, så får vi se hvordan det blir til slutt.
Were conditions tougher than expected today?
Ja, kanskje det. Det var ikke så mye vind i dag tidlig, så da var det egentlig ganske skårbart. Men med en gang på slutten av mine første 9 så begynte det å blåse litt, og da sånn at da blir det tøft. Og på visse hull så det veldig små marginer, og du kan slå bra slag, og du kan ende i vannet, og da baller det på seg.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, thank you.